Hello and welcome to Dreams of Wings, and here we are at West Yellowstone Airport. First of all, massive thank you to everybody on my Instagram who first of all voted to fly in the T6 Harvard, and secondly who voted that we would fly in Yellowstone. So this flight is down to you guys on Instagram who voted, and what a fantastic day for it too. This is ORBX West Yellowstone Airport. And it's looking grand. We've got our Harvard, which is what we're going to refer to it as, by God, over there in the distance. It's a beautiful aircraft. It's a perfect aircraft for doing this kind of flying. It's an old World War II trainer. Here it is it's in RAF livery, but this is kind of how it would look if it was on Lend-Lease to Rhodesia, South Africa. This is actually modelled on a fighter collection Harvard that's based up at Duxford, and it's just a beautiful aircraft. It really is. Great way to learn to fly warbirds. I'll talk about that in a bit, but fantastic way to kind of earn your stripes on a tail dragger. And A2A really did do a cracking job with this Harvard. You can fly from both the front and the rear cockpit, so you can get a full feel for it. And yeah, wonderful aircraft. Great place to start, but as I say, I'll talk about that in the future. I should also say the repaint down to Blade Runner 900. You probably heard me speak about him before. He did the Silver Spitfire paint that I flew. He is a master at this sort of thing, and he's just done such a good job with this repaint on the Harvard. Very nice indeed. So what we're going to do is we're going to just take a nice leisurely cruise, as I've explained before, due to the situation with lockdown and people here wanting to use the internet. Unfortunately, these videos aren't as long as they normally are. We won't be doing the full startup or shutdown. We will just get in the aircraft, get going, do our flight, have some fun, see some scenery, and hopefully you will enjoy it. So let's get a move on. Beautiful flying weather, really is. Absolutely perfect. Be able to get some good sightseeing done without too much hassle. We've got a slight crosswind, nothing much, about 6 knots, reducing to 3. It's going to be at about a 45-degree angle from in front of us, so nothing too much to worry about. Certainly nothing that the Harvard can't cope with. This is an incredibly capable aircraft. It might not be the fastest, but it's very capable, fantastic for mountain flying, brilliant trainer. Yeah, every time I get in it, I want to fly it more, and every time I see it, I want to fly it. So I've seen some of this scenery, but only a very small amount. I bought this some time ago, and way back at some point in the archives on the channel there is a video from West Yellowstone to somewhere else, but I've not really done a tour of the national park, which is crazy really because it's right here. Done a group flight or two over a section of it, so I'm quite interested to see what it looks like. Coming, nothing on the runway. Just going to go straight on. Let's put the landing lights on. Okay, let's do it. Power gently on. And let's roll. Not going all the way on the power, don't really need to at this point. fire off the runway. Gear up. Trim slightly. Okay, let's head over to the park. Just adjusting our power settings a little bit. So I think this is one of the really incredible things about what you can do on a flight sim now, that you can actually go to somewhere like Yellowstone National Park and fly around it in the simulator, set whatever weather you want. Just amazing. So we're actually coming in here through the west entrance. Harvard or Texan is a beautiful aircraft to fly. I think there's a massive opportunity to be had here. If you're watching this and you haven't really gotten into warbirds yet in flight simming, this is a great way of getting into it. Start off with the Harvard, learn the ropes of a warbird tail dragger, and then move on from that to the Spitfire or the Mustang or the P40. It really is a great way of, in the simulator, being able to mimic what actually used to happen in real life. This was really kind of the advanced trainer after the Stearman or the Tiger Moth, depending on which nationality you were and what you had available. But it's very capable, great trainer, gorgeous to fly, really is. So as I'm doing this, I'm just looking at a map of the national park. I've not been here before, so if I read a name off the map and it's not how you would actually refer to it in real life, I do apologise, but we're just coming up on what looks like National Park Mountain and Madison Campsite, and this is our turning point here, just as we go past this mountain, and we head down to Old Faithful, because you can't come here without going to Old Faithful. Bit of trivia for you, I believe it's called Old Faithful because it's one of the few geysers that you can actually almost predict when it's going to erupt, because otherwise they tend to be a bit chaotic. It all depends on a mixture of hot and cold water and pressure. Pretty fascinating stuff. Mother Nature's a fascinating thing, isn't she? When you actually stop and think about it, this water that's boiling underground because of all the geothermal activity that's going on down there under our feet, and then shooting up out of the earth. Absolutely amazing. Don't worry, this won't turn into a geography lesson. I just think that kind of stuff's pretty cool, really. Sometimes Mother Nature has a way of just saying to you, well, I'm boss, look at what I can do. And you can just see a geyser off in the distance there. That isn't Old Faithful. We're going to take a little detour over there. Road, so that's what I'm keeping an eye on. So at the map here, roundabout here, it says Roaring Mountain. So I guess that's one of those over there, but you can see the steam coming out of the ground. Oh, okay, actually, get my bearings right, that is Midway Geyser Basin over there. Looking at the wrong section. And that is Old Faithful over here. Let's come back over here slightly, get back on course. Do you know what? I'm not convinced that that was Old Faithful. I think this might be Old Faithful down here. Yeah, that's Old Faithful up ahead. You can tell I've not been here before, right? It's a bit like saying, oh look, there's the Eiffel Tower. No. Trying to fly and read a visitor's map at the same time. That's more like it. That's what I was expecting to see. Certainly being faithful today and erupting for us. Don't think the half needs to wash, so we'll give it a wide berth. Not sure boiling hot water and steam would be too good. Here we've got the visitor centre. I think we've probably got the best view. Sure we keep following the road, see what we see. Unfortunately trying to read this little map, I've got it set up on another screen, but I've got other things on there as well. It's quite difficult trying to make it out. I could be reading you off a whole load of names that don't mean anything, but we'll see. As long as we stick to the road, I've got a fighting chance. Greetings, welcome to Las Vegas, Nevada. Oh, it's not quite that bad. Somewhere over there, I believe, is Kepler Cascades. Quite possibly back there, actually. Let's come back off the power a bit now that we've crested the top there. Wow, look at that. I know you must think I'm crazy. I'm flying in a simulator in a room in my house looking at a screen and admiring views, but I guess if you're into flight sim you understand that it's incredibly immersive, and when you're flying something like the Harvard, that the A2A Harvard, that is so faithful, you do really feel that you're up there. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm guessing you're watching this because you like flight sim, and you probably have an understanding of that. It's Yellowstone Lake over there. Really is cracking weather for doing this. I've got the active sky for P3D using the clear sky setting, so we've just got a nice bit of a heat haze. I don't think it is a heat haze. A nice haze over there. No clouds, and just ever so slight wind at the moment. We've got a 5-knot headwind almost. Now the thing to say about this scenery is that this is a whole region. This is the I think it's the Central Rockies region for ORBX. I might just have to fact check that. Might be Northern Rockies thinking about it. But either way, this isn't one of the true Earth series, so you're not going to get exact representation of what's on the ground, but they use photorealistic scenery in certain areas. For example, back there at Old Faithful, that looked like they'd done some photorealistic there, and you know, it looks pretty damn good. It's enough to get you around. It's certainly enough to do VFR navigation. I'm looking at the Yellowstone guide map here, and I could easily find my way around using that. So this, according to the map, is West Thumb Geyser Basin. Geyser, geezer, tomato, tomato. It's not a word I use very often, but I was watching a video where they called it a geyser. It's Grant Village. Just wanted to have a quick look over there, see if there are any geysers, but we're going to head back now over towards the lake. We have West Thumb just there, and that's the direction we're heading in. Now something I've seen on YouTube, as I'm sure you have if you're a fan of the Harvard, is an aerobatic team, and I am horrified that I can't remember the name of them off the top of my head, doing water skiing with the gear down in Harvards, and it is absolutely incredible. I am not going to attempt that right now. We will not be doing that in this aircraft. I am not a certified Harvard water skier. Some of you might be quite disappointed at that. Some of you might be quite relieved at that. But it ain't gonna happen today. So there's West Thumb down there. As I say, if you know this region really well, you're probably thinking, well, doesn't look like the real thing. This is a whole region covering a wide area of the US, so it's not going to be true Earth photorealistic, but it's good. It's good. It gives. I'm getting a nice impression of a terrain, of a feel of a place. So yeah, like I said, if you are new to warbirds, or if perhaps you're thinking of getting the T6, I know one of the reasons I started making films on YouTube was because I used to go to YouTube whenever I was looking at a new aircraft that I was thinking about getting. One guy that pops to mind straight away is Shane, Oz Flight Simmer. He does some absolutely cracking videos, and in the past if I've gone onto YouTube to find a particular aircraft I'm looking to get, he's quite often got them on there. Obviously people like Frugal as well, but yeah, that's one of the reasons why I started making these videos, was because I am just genuinely amazed at what you can do with these now. I thought it would be a great idea for people who are interested in a particular aircraft or a particular type of aviation, and might be going onto YouTube just to get an idea of what's out there. It would be a way of getting them to see aircraft in different environments, different terrain. These aren't tutorials. This isn't me saying, look, this is how we fly the A2A T-6 Texan. It's not that at all. It's just really seeing, getting an idea from your average flight simmer, which is what I am, of what an aircraft is like. And that's really kind of what it's about. Like I've said before with my videos, it's not about tutorials or teaching you to do anything. A lot of you watching this will know a lot more about these than I do. We're very fortunate in the A2A community that we actually have real, not just real pilots, but also real warbird pilots amongst us. And the experience and the tips and that kind of thing that we get from these guys is just priceless. I've mentioned one before, Rob Wilkinson. He helped me a lot with the looping the Mustang. He is a real world T6 pilot, and if he's watching this, he's probably got his head in his hands thinking, my God, what are you doing to that beautiful aircraft? But that's one of the mind-blowing fantastic things about what we do with our A2A planes in the A2A community. And I absolutely urge you, if you haven't already, get over to the forums, the A2A Simulations.com, head to the forums, have a look at the Discord. There's plenty of group flights going on, especially at the moment during the pandemic. I don't think I've ever seen so many group flights being posted up there. There's people from all around the world on there as well, so these flights can be at different times. There's usually a structured one on a Sunday round about, don't quote me, I think at the moment it's about 1800, 1700 Zulu. But don't quote me, have a look at the posts and you'll see what time it's set at. But great bunch of people, they really are, and especially at a time like now where you might want to fly but also have a bit of banter, have a chat with some like-minded aviation nuts, then it's a great place to go, really is. And I would strongly recommend you at least have a look at it. And they're very welcoming as well. There's no sense of I know how many rivets there are on a Spitfire and you don't. It's just a bunch of guys, different knowledge levels, different abilities, maybe, but pretty much everyone is a damn good pilot and knows their stuff and is passionate about what we do. I am no rivet counter. I am awful at remembering numbers, dates, marks, all that kind of stuff. But I know what I love, and I love these old warbirds, and I love flying them. And that's kind of what the A2A community is about, as well as some extremely knowledgeable people who can teach us a lot. So it's all good. Anyway, I've been waffling on. So we are coming up to Lahadi's Rapids. In fact, I think we've probably already passed over Lahadi's Rapids. But I don't think we're going to see much in the scenery, really. No. Coming over more of a plain now. Gorgeous aircraft, this T6. There's that old adage, if it looks right, it flies right, and this is definitely the case with the T6. It flies beautifully. So a quick check of the, just getting my track IR right. Something's not quite working there, because see if we can pop our head round. There we go, yep, so time to switch tanks. I don't have buttons set up in this aircraft, so it might be tricky. There we go, that's better. I think that over there is Stone Top Mountain, but hard to make out at this point which feature it is, but I'm guessing that one kind of centre now, but only guessing. I certainly won't get a job as a Yellowstone National Park aerial tour guide after this. It actually reminds me when I used to have to go to Texas at least once a year some years ago, and it always used to amaze me just how big the sky was, if that makes any sense to you. And that's kind of almost a feeling you get here. You look out over this terrain and that sky just looks enormous. So what do we got here? Uncle Tom's Trail, it says on my little map, and this is Hayden Valley, Yellowstone River we're just going over, and that's Canyon Village. There we go, some more detail down there. They're beautiful. Imagine camping there. Wow. Just having a quick look around. Mount Washburn over here. This is Dunraven Pass. Let's just swing around a little bit just so we can get a better view over here. Beautiful. Our road is just over there. Don't know if you can just see it. I just thought I'd bring us over this way so we can just have a look back through those peaks. Coming over Yancey's. Bunsen Peak over there. Let's see what we got. There's Bunsen Peak. Was the north entrance back there as well, if you ever come into it that way. So let me quick check everything. Everything's looking fine. Look at that. Beautiful. So I think what we're coming up to here is Indian Creek. Dead trees. Wow. If anyone has been to this part of the world, would you mind just confirming that there are dead trees like that all around? I wasn't expecting that. It's a bit like going down the Mac Loop again to a certain extent. Just with Welsh language and more bears. Aha. I see something here. Let's just quickly flip her over so we can get another look. There we go. Some hot springs by the look of it. Up ahead is Norris Geyser. Wow. Norris Geyser Basin Museum. By the looks of it. Okay, and this is the bit where we head for home. Just checking our wind, it's still pretty much where it was before, nothing's changed. Look around. Looks good. Quick note on what we've got in the cockpit here. I have you can have a rudimentary autopilot which is there but obviously not on, and we've got the Flight 1 GTN 650 installed down here. A2A do ship this with a GPS, but I've got the GTN complete pack, so I thought I might as well stick that in. see where Old Faithful was, just over there in the distance. So we've kind of done I guess an oval shape. Distance of this is about 116 nautical miles. Just about make out Yellowstone West Airport up ahead. I've seen it referred to as Yellowstone Airport and Yellowstone West Airport, by the way. So yeah, I don't quite know why I told you that, but these are more interesting facts available on DVD. So the elevation here is it's about 6,600 feet, 6,644 feet. So we're already quite high up. I've actually got the mixture leaned. We're not running fully rich. At 2000. So coming off on the power a little bit. Let's open the canopy. Down. 2 greens. Let's get some flap. Set the track IR position, that's better. Low. The crosswind playing there. Well, thank you very much for coming along. I hope you enjoyed the flight, and as always, it means a heck of a lot to me that, especially if you've got to this point in the video all the way through. I do thank you. I do appreciate you watching the videos, and if you like what you see, please do. It's cheesy, I know, but I'm going to say it. Like and subscribe. Helps the channel grow, and it's just really good. So thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you here again on Dreams of Wings very soon. Take care now. Bye bye.